Welcome to today's Huntington Bank Live Chat. I'm Bob McElligott, and I'm joined by Blue Jackets forward RJ Umberger. Are you ready for this?
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm going to put you right in the hot seat today. You can go ahead and send your questions in to us, and we'll get them to RJ, and he can answer your questions. I get the first question, though, because I'm hosting. How good does it feel to be back at home after a long 4-game road trip?
It feels really good. It felt like a lot longer than a 7-day trip, so it was good to be 500 and get home. The big win in New York was a great way to come home, and I think we're excited to play in front of our crowd. I think a lot of this month now we'll be at home.
It would be a long couple of days of practice if you didn't get that win in New York, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it made it definitely more enjoyable today and tomorrow before we gear up on Friday.
All right, let's get right to it and get your questions for RJ. We'll start with a question from Brandon that says, why is there so much cycling in the corners of the offensive zone? Is this something that you guys spend a lot of time on in practice, or does it just happen?
Well, we definitely spend a lot of time on practice. It's an important part of the game. If you think about what the defense is trying to do, they're trying to stop you from getting to the middle of the ice. So a lot of the games played in the corners, play along the boards, and in the offensive zone, it's a way for us to try to get open, create some space, and you're looking for the defensive team to make a mistake and get out of position. So it's a way to create offense.
I wonder if that question was asked because it seems with your line that you and Nick Foligno really do that well. You do it a lot, but you do it well, and you guys just work it until somebody does make a mistake, and then when they make the mistake, either you get to the front of the net, Nick gets to the front of the net, or, oh, by the way, Ryan Johansson's lurking somewhere.
Yeah, we both really do like to cycle. We like to play the one-on-one game in the corners. I think that's kind of why we work well together. We kind of know what we're going to do now. We know to get away from each other and let the guy do the one-on-one, do the cycling, and know how to play off it. And it's kind of funny because Nick and I are both kind of same, and we like to do cutbacks in the corners. We'd like to spin off things and off the guys. And some games we have a little contest, see who can have the most cutbacks in one game. So it's fun. I think we've learned how to play together.
All right, our next question says, "Hey RJ, big fan. What's your thought about a Winter Classic game being played at the Horseshoe, being an alumni of Ohio State?"
I think that would be a thrill. I think it's definitely doable, and it'd be a lot of fun. I think it'd be something maybe you can work into like Michigan Week, one that's going on, and I think us versus Detroit or something like that would be a lot of fun, or you can do us versus Pittsburgh, whatever. I think, but it would be a great turnout, a lot of fun.
Well, the good news is it doesn't even have to be a Winter Classic now because you've got the Stadium Series that's going to be taking place here later in the month with a couple of games at Yankee Stadium with the Rangers, the Islanders, the Devils, of course the Ducks and the Kings are going to play Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles. If they can do it in Los Angeles, they can do it in the Horseshoe. And then, of course, Pittsburgh and Chicago are going to play at Soldier Field. So it doesn't have to be that one New Year's Day game anymore.
Right. I think it'll be an unbelievable opportunity for fans here and something like I've never got to do it before. I think it would be a thrill. And, Ohio Stadium is just what a place. And, the Horseshoe is amazing. So I think it would be an incredible place to do it.
Did you watch any of the Winter Classic on New Year's Day when we were in Phoenix?
I did. It looked pretty cold out there.
Yeah, I know. I just shut the drapes so the sun wouldn't come in and blind me while I was watching them skate in the snow.
It was already hard enough to handle a puck and put it out in the snow. But it looked like they had fun with it.
Yeah, it did look like they did. And it turned out to be a really good game,
Yeah,
actually.
It was.
The next comment from Buckeye Jacket 18. How do you think that you've played the first half of the year? And what areas do you think that you need to improve in your game moving forward?
Well, I think it's definitely been an improvement from last year. I think our line's been pretty good offensively. I think, we're doing a good job, on the power play, creating offense for our team. I think, for myself, a lot of confidence with the guys I'm playing with. I think, I'd like to improve on the rush. I haven't been as effective off the rush this year as I have in the past, but, in net front and all that in the corners has been really good. So I think for me, just proving that area. I think defensive zone for our line. Last year we were extremely good. Shutting down against teams. This year we've been on for a few goals again. So I think that's an area we need to concentrate on.
As you were answering that, I was thinking if you go all the way back to the start of the year, coming out of training camp, there was a little bit of uncertainty who you were going to play with, how Todd Richards was going to use you. You and Nick, there was there were some questions there, but it kind of quickly settled into the two of you getting back together with Ryan Johansson like you did last year. And that's been almost a mainstay line throughout the entire year. How nice is it to get that familiarity and that comfort level with those two guys where you know that most times you're on the ice, you're going to be with them and you guys know each other so well?
I think any person prefers to play with the same one or two people most of the year. You get real accustomed to that person. You really get to know them. You get set plays. You get things that you know how to read off each other, and it really makes your game better. And I think back to a lot of my best years and times I played on different teams. Even as a young kid, it's I had set one or two line mates I really enjoyed playing with, and it feeds off the ice too. You get closer off the ice, and then it just when you're closer as a group of three, you really start to play well. You gel off each other, and think we have such a skilled team and such a deep team this year, and guys can go anywhere from first to fourth line and be good, and that's what I think it's going to make us a successful team. So beginning of the year was, I knew it would all work out wherever I went.
All right, Tom Rutter has the next question. Wants to know how much the move from the Western Conference to the Eastern Conference has helped this team.
It's different. I think we're still trying to get used to it, but it's travel-wise, it's incredible. I took a peek at the rest of our schedule this year, and we only have really two more trips where we're gone for more than a couple days. A lot of it's out and back, and you're home by 12:30 at night, which some of the guys are seeing the change of that. It's for recovery-wise, it's unbelievable. And other than this being an Olympic year, the games have been pretty compacted, and the schedule's been pretty tough. I don't think we've seen the full effects to it, but I'm enjoying it.
All right, Dennis has the next question. It says, RJ, if you went to a local restaurant, what would you expect to see on an Umberger?
Well, I'll just when I was in Philadelphia, I had a burger named after me when we won the Calder Cup for the Phantoms. So I went with I got to create it myself, and I went with Munster cheese on it, some mayonnaise, ketchup, and a big onion ring on it. So
how much time did you put into thinking of the ingredients?
You know what? It was kind of had a list of ingredients. I kind of went with things. I went off the kind of the Pittsburgh, the fries on the sandwich, like a Permane Brothers. So I went with an onion ring, a little different twist.
Yeah, just a little twist on it.
Yeah,
I like
so
that. I like
it's good.
That's good. Travis has the next questions. What are your thoughts on the Arch City Army and the growing level of excitement here in Nationwide Arena?
Well, this city's been tremendous. I thought. The support that we've got. I've met so many season ticket holders from day one who continue to follow. And it just makes you wonder. If this place is won a Stanley Cup or went to the playoffs 4 or 5 years in a row, what would it be like? The backers, the people that support this community, this team are amazing. I just want to win here for it.
You're the one guy I can ask this question to because you're a Pittsburgh native. But you don't have to go that far back in the past to remember when the Penguins were on the verge of bankruptcy. There were 5,000 or 6,000 people going to their games. You remember all of that. You lived through it as well. Now you see what's going on there. Do you feel that once the Blue Jackets start to win consistently and start to get in the playoffs consistently, can you see that same kind of fan following blossoming here in Columbus?
Absolutely. This town has the capability. You've seen it in spurts. You saw it in the one playoff run we did make. You saw it at the end of last season. And not only that, the talent, such a young talent on this team. We had 3 more first-round picks last year, and it's just going to be continuing more and more young, talented players that happen in Pittsburgh where they just, got to grow together and the team became so good and so exciting. So I think that's going to happen here. A guy like Ryan Johansson is just starting to show flashes of what he can do. And, that's only going to excite the crowd base, get young kids, have someone to look up to and want to be like. They're out in the streets, they're stick handling, they want to be Ryan Johansson scoring that goal. So, that's what we're looking forward to here. And now it all starts with winning. You get into the playoffs and you got to do it year after year and be a competitive team, and people will fall in love.
It's funny, you talk about them wanting to be Ryan Johansson. There's still a lot of kids in this town that want to be that RJ Umberger cycling out of the corner too. Because, having a son that plays youth hockey, you see a lot of 18s out there. What's it like as a player knowing that there are kids that maybe wear your number because they admire you as a player? Whether you want to be a role model or not, it's just part of the job. It just happens with kids looking up to you. What's that feeling like?
It's very humbling. It's probably the ultimate feel-good moment. I think, as a person, as a father now that has kids, and you realize what's important and those things. And I remember back to when I was a young kid, and I looked up to the guys on the Penguins and going to those practices, just sitting there in awe and watching. And to give kids that chance to enjoy that, and really to just. They're playing hockey, they're watching hockey for the love and for the fun, and pure fun of the game, and that's something special. And, if you can inspire kids in any way, that's probably the ultimate compliment.
All right, our next question comes from Amber. She wants to know, what is your favorite moment being a Blue Jacket?
Oh, there's definitely been a lot of good ones. I think being a part of the first team to make the playoffs here in this history, that's something you'll never take back. I remember that first playoff game here. Obviously, we didn't get the result we wanted, but I think it's something special to know you're a part of that the first ever group to be a playoff team here.
For you, when you came from Philadelphia to here, and I know it's been a while now, but what were your feelings coming back to Columbus? You'd gone to college here, so you already had the tie, but you were also leaving a Flyers franchise that is a well-respected franchise in the NHL to try to come here and help to build something.
Seems like so long ago, so it's funny how time goes. But it was mixed emotions at first. It was I just come off a big run, playoff series. We went to the semifinals. I honestly thought when we went into that series we were going to the Stanley Cup final. So I thought we could do it, and I'm thinking I could raise the Stanley Cup here soon. And and then the next thing you get traded to a team, and you have the mixed emotions of leaving where you've been normal, accustomed to, all the friends, your house, everything that you're. I just started with that team and been with them, so I didn't know anything else. But then immediately you start thinking of the opportunity and the changes, and it gets exciting. And it being Columbus, where I went to school. It's close to my parents, family. It's just I know the city real well. Still love the Buckeyes. Hopefully I can finish my degree. It just all seemed like it was so perfect, and I have so many friends that were always still here from school, and my wife has friends here when she graduated, and it just seemed like the perfect fit, and we got really excited really fast. And from the moment I came here, I just enjoyed every second of it.
So now you have to hope that things come full circle, whereas all your friends from back home that hated the fact that you were a Flyer will now someday soon hate the fact that you're a Blue Jacket playing in the same division now.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I have a lot of friends and family that were really excited that I wasn't on Flyers anymore because they hate the Flyers. It's unbelievable. But, it's, they don't mind rooting for the Blue Jackets and for me. But, I think it's fun for them to come out to games here. They're only, a couple hours away. And, like I said, this is just a perfect fit. This is where I'm going to spend the rest of my life. Columbus is where I'm going to build a house and raise my kids.
All right, let's get back to another question. This from Umby's Arsenal. It says, with a team that is full of young, very bright talent, what's the biggest challenge for a veteran player like you in keeping these guys focused over the course of an entire 82-game season?
Well, just like you said, it's a pretty good challenge, just the focus. And you've seen it in our team. We've had some highs and lows where we've won a game or two, and then we get too comfortable, and then we go out and not play a good game. And I think the one thing, every time we've played bad or coaches challenged us or whatever, we've responded really well. So that shows that the character our group has. Now it's continuing to learn and develop and get the experience. These young guys who are now put in big roles night in and night out. It's a learning experience. It's a 82-game season's tough. It's you're going to have your off nights, and it's learning how to control those and handle those, and you're not going to feel good every night. But I think our team's getting stronger and stronger, and for us on the road, we got to continue to keep doing what we're doing on the road and come home and be a better than a 500 team at home. If we start winning at home a lot more often, we'll see us climb in the standings.
All right, Brian wants to know how Nathan Horton's effect, or how his return, what effect it's had on the team's energy both on and off the ice.
Well, he's just an extremely good presence to our team. I've never seen a guy so happy. I didn't know Nathan before he came here, and I watched what he's played, and I just always thought him a rugged, plays tough. He's big nosed guy, and you get to know him off the ice. He's like as nice as guy can be, and he's always smiling, just loves coming to the rink, and that wears off on everybody else. It's infectious, and I think we've all seen how hard he worked all year to get ready, and he's believed in us. He wanted to be part of this team, and I think it was killing him not being out there on the ice with us. And we were all excited in Phoenix when we got to play his first game finally, and it was a big lift for our team just emotionally.
What did it mean to you when he signed this summer? Seeing a guy that had been to the Stanley Cup final 2 times, he'd won a cup, he was just in the final last year, and all of a sudden he's saying, you know what? I'm going to walk away from all of this. I want to go to Columbus and help them build. As a guy that's already been here and put in the work and the blood, sweat, and tears that you have, what did that mean to you?
It's huge. It means a lot. It meant a lot when Rick decided to sign a big deal a few years ago and stay here. It means a lot when a guy like Horton wants to come here. It shows the words gets out about this organization, this city, this team, the direction we're going. I haven't talked to a guy that's came here hasn't been pleasantly surprised of how great it is to be a part of this organization, this city, and the setup we have here. And you bring a guy in like Horton, I think that just speaks volumes to just a little bit of success last year, second half of the season, what it can do.
All right, let's get another question. This one from Victor. It says, "Hey RJ, Cleveland loves you. Are there any pranks or shenanigans that you happen to be known for?"
Not really. I'm not the big prankster.
If there is, you're probably not going to.
Yeah, no. I've pulled a couple. I don't even know if they know, but I'm not the big prankster. We have a lot of other guys that do that. I'm kind of guy stay out of it, so no one kind of pranks on me. It's kind of how I look at it. But thank you anyway.
Once you get to be a veteran player, do you? Well, they still can't come back and prank on you, right?
Well, after on this team, 9-10 years in the league is a lot for our team, so you guys tend to kind of stay away.
All right. Let's see. Your next question is, RJ, there are so many teammates on the Russian team. Do you think that you'll be pulling for Team Russia for the silver medal and gold going to the USA in the Olympics?
Obviously USA. I'll be happy for them if they do do well, but I can't honestly say I'd be rooting for any team for anything other than U.S.
Yeah, but that being said, it's got to be nice for those guys.
For sure.
Fedor Tutin, Artem Anisimov, Nikita Nikitin, Sergei Bobrovsky, they all get to play for their country, in their country, and they've got the familiarity where, you got 3 other teammates going to play in the same team with you.
Yeah, that's great for them. They've worked hard, and they all of them deserve it. To do it in your home country too, that's got to be a lot of fun. And I know they're excited. They have a great opportunity. They have a good team, and you never know when you get into those kind of situations. So, but I'll be pulling for USA, obviously. So.
Obviously. Jack Dexter wants to know, which team has been your toughest opponent so far this season?
Well, it's hard to argue against Pittsburgh. I think we've played them hard 2 of 3 games, played them well, maybe deserved a little bit better, but obviously winless against them so far. And you look at their division; they're running away with it, and obviously elite team in the league. And the crazy thing is they've been doing it with a lot of injuries. They haven't even been fully healthy. So again, it's just a team that's been playing together for so long. They're just all know where each other's at, and they're just going on the right direction.
Yeah, but you're right. You have played them close, except for one game where you didn't have many scoring chances. So when you use that as a measuring stick, I'm sure from a team standpoint, disappointed to lose, but you're getting close.
Yeah, and then there's been a bunch of different measuring sticks along the way, and I think another one was just the other night in St. Louis. Obviously that game didn't end the way we wanted to. The first period, we knew we played the way we wanted to, the caliber we need to, but in an environment like that in St. Louis, when they ramped it up, we didn't respond well, and that's what they're going to be teams pushing for the Stanley Cup, and that's the kind of level we need to get to. So it was good for us to experience that again. And see that, we are improving, we are getting better. We've played a lot of good hockey since Christmas, but there's still another level to get to.
All right. Megan wants to know, what's your favorite pizza in Columbus?
Favorite pizza in Columbus? I got a lot. I mean, I like the Jets. Jets is a good pizza. But you know what? Something about Donato's. I just love Donato's. I mean, I can always go back to Donato's, and you know, since I was in college, I could just get a whole bottle of ranch and just squirt it and dip my pizza in the ranch and finish a whole pizza myself.
Now wait a minute.
Just on a football Sunday.
Okay, and I was going to ask you, now are you eating it in the middle of the afternoon? Maybe was that a later hour when you were in college?
Yeah, well, that later hours of college, I don't even know what I was eating. So
anything that was around,
any pizza, yeah.
Didn't matter. All right, let's see. Joey wants to know, RJ, do you have any superstitions?
Who doesn't as a hockey player? I mean, where to start? I mean, everything. A game day is such a ritual. Everything, you know. I'll even wear the same clothes to the rink in the morning. You know, I'm a big person on like supplements and what I eat, and you know, I'll eat the same exact things. You know, whatever if I played well, and you know, I want to go to sleep at the same time. I want to eat at the same time. You know, I don't when I go into the room to go to sleep, no one's allowed, my wife's not allowed in there, no one's allowed in there. It's just like, get away from me kind of moment. But I drive to the rink at the same time. You know, when I get to the rink, it's the same routine. When I stretch, how I get dressed from my equipment one side to the other. I warm up, I go through the same routine every day, listen to the same music, get on the ice, I do the same stretch, I line up in the same spot for warm-ups, where I shoot, same order. For a game, I hit my stick on the goalpost behind the net, same way. Hockey players are crazy.
So the answer is yes.
Yeah.
1 million superstitions for RJ Umberger. RJ De Niro wants to know, you seem to be ready for a run. Does it feel similar to right before the big run that you guys made last season?
Yeah, I think we're gearing up. I think we're getting really confident. Like I said, it's just handling that balance of the up and downs. But I think we're getting healthier here, getting Bobback's big, getting Horton. You know, now just getting, you know, adding Calvert in the next few days, and you know, and now continuing to do well, and we have a lot at home coming up rest of the season, so we need to do good there. And I don't know if you can go on the same exact run as last year. That was pretty incredible, but you know, I think we can be a team that definitely jumps up in the standings and does well.
You mentioned Matt Calvert. I got to ask you this question because where I sit, which by the way is where everything's really easy, but where I sit, and I watch the way you guys play when you have Matt Calvert, and it really does feel like you lose something without him. He's not the biggest guy in the league. He's not the probably in some regards, well, he's toughest with a heart. He plays with that big heart. Yeah. But what is it about Matt Calvert that not having him takes away from the whole essence of this group?
Well, he just provides so much intangibles to your team, speed, work ethic. You know, he's a second, third, fourth effort kind of guy. You know, he's a guy that gets gritty, goes in the corners, in front of the net, and you know, he just kind of does it all. And he can play on first line, fourth line, penalty kill, power play. I mean, he can do it all, and he just provides a presence. You know, it's hard to play against him because how fast he is. You know, when you add speed to your lineup, it's a dangerous thing, and he really does do that.
All right, next question comes from Nick. It says, who is the jokester in the locker room, and why would you say this person is the jokester?
Well, we got a few of them. Foligno comes to mind. You know, he's just the happy-go-lucky guy, always coming up with something. Dubinsky, I guess. McKenzie. Who else?
McKenzie doesn't come across as a jokester kind of guy.
Well, sometimes not. You know, he gets kind of involved into it a little bit, gets pulled into it. So, you know, Foligno's probably the biggest one of them all, though.
Yeah, Foligno is?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Oh, he does like to have a good time.
Yeah.
He does enjoy life. Let me ask you this: being that he's your friend and he's your line mate, you know, he went through a trying time personally here a couple of months ago. It seems like since he's come back from that, now that his mind is at ease, he is back to being that fun-loving guy who's almost playing without a care in the world. In some regards, just as though he's enjoying the game for the game.
Well, I think that's it. He is enjoying it. I don't know if he'll ever not have a care in the world now. I think every day he goes home, he's as a parent and what he's dealing with, he's gonna have a worry every day. And you know, we're so happy that he's having success on the ice because he deserves it. When he comes to the rink, he literally just comes and releases it all and has fun and plays with, like you said, without a worry when he's on the ice, because at that moment he's just playing hockey. And when he goes home, he doesn't have time to worry about hockey. He doesn't have time to think about, you know, the bad play he made yesterday, or if he, you know, he could have made this play, or, you know, we lost last night. He doesn't have time to have those worries and that stress on him. He has enough he's dealing with. So hockey is just something that is just enjoyable.
Yeah, and we're very glad, obviously, that his family situation has calmed down and that he's able to get through that and have that release. Amy wants to know, other than Columbus, where's your favorite city to play?
I like playing in Montreal. That's such a hockey town, and it's just a good atmosphere to play in. The rink's nice, ice is nice, the city's great, a lot of good restaurants. I like Chicago. It's a good city. I just like the city in general, and it's a pretty good atmosphere to play there too. There's a lot of good places in the league. You know, really those two stick out in my mind. You know, Madison Square Garden, I'm not a big fan of going to the whole city and everything there, but I mean, Madison Square Garden is one of the most famous places in the world to play, so you got to enjoy that too.
You enjoy going into those venues with big crowds that are loud and silencing those crowds?
I do. I mean, that's what it's all about. You know, I'd rather go into an arena with 17, 18,000 screaming fans than, you know, a place that only has 5,000, 6,000 quiet fans and the game seems kind of motionless. You know, it's you know, you want that crowd, that craziness. I mean, obviously you want to kind of get them to go on your side and quiet them a little bit, but I mean, it's what you're playing for. You know, you play to enjoy the game and the moment and everything, and you want some intensity and some emotion into it.
All right, our next question comes from Umberger and Fries. Why did you pick number 18, which was not the original number that you would have worn, right?
No, I've worked 20 my entire life. As a kid growing up, I went into juniors and 20 was taken. I didn't have another favorite number, so I went with 18. Had a pretty good junior career, so that's why kind of 18 was hanging in the back of my mind. Went to Ohio State. Again, 20 was taken by an older kid. I went with 18 was also taken. I went with 22. Actually really liked that number. Then went back when I got to Philly, 20 was available, so I obviously went back to it. And coming to Columbus, that's what I would have went with, but Huselius had it immediately, and Commodore had 22. 22 would have been good since I wore it to college. So I didn't have much left. And I just thought, well, I had 18 at juniors, it went pretty well, and you know, I'll go with that. And I was, after Commodore, or actually after Huselius left, I thought about going back to 20. I just didn't think it was right. You know, once I've been here for so long, wore 18, it kind of made it my new home, my new niche. So you know, I didn't think it was right for the fans who had bought the jerseys and everything to switch numbers.
Your number was retired in high school, right?
Yeah.
So it's hanging in the rafters?
Yeah, it's hanging at the, it wasn't even the rink that I grew up playing, and they switched rinks, so it's hanging at the new rink that my high school plays in. It was obviously a pretty cool experience to have done. You know, not too many people can say they have had that done. I only played 2 years of high school hockey. I left after my sophomore year, but it was a lot of fun. We had a good team. We won a league championship, and it's pretty cool, pretty neat to see it.
Oh, that would be pretty neat. Lauren says, which hockey player influenced you the most when you were a kid?
Well, it was definitely Mario Lemieux. I mean, I can't say I resemble his game or anything. I mean, who could? But I just, you know, everything about hockey I love because of the way he played and what he did. And I mean, he was the best player in my mind in the world. And you know, I just fell in love with hockey, watching him every night. I remember being 6 years old and sitting in front of the TV watching it with my dad, and you know, my family had no connection to hockey, and I was just watching this guy do incredible things, and I fell in love and wanted to go play hockey. And you know, there's still, my favorite player of all time is still Mario, who always will be. And
Mario, of course, was playing with Jaromir Jagr. You were watching those two. Jagr last night actually he tied Lemieux in career points, right? What's it like for you now? You just played the Devils not long ago. Jaromir Jagr's on the other side. Here you are lining up against a guy that you watched as a kid.
It's pretty incredible. A guy like Yager, like you said, 1990 was his first year in the league, and I remember watching it with that long hair in the back, and I still remember the one move he had going the backhand, cutting across the middle, scoring a goal in the playoffs. And this guy is just phenomenal, and him and Mario and the team that they had, Ron Francis and all these guys, Paul Coffey, it was just such a lucky thing for me as a kid to be able to grow up and watch and be a part of. And now I get to you play against these guys, and almost kind of sometimes you gotta like kind of shake your head and be like, wait, this is Yager right here. But right when that puck drops, you gotta battle him, and he's just another guy. I'll never forget. I actually when I was in Philly, I got to play one game against Mario right before he retired, and it was in Pittsburgh. And I remember one shift I was out there against him, and whistle blew. I skated by, and he kind of gave me a little tap with his stick on the back of the legs, and I'll never forget that moment. I actually got one of the sticks from the game, and I still hang up on my wall. So.
You never, and I know you guys have a lot of pride, but do you ever go up to anybody like that, well, not on the ice obviously, but outside of the rink and say, hey, you had a lot of influence on me being where I am today?
Well, never on the ice during a game or anything. You kind of, you don't really do that much. But if you have the opportunity, you get to see him or anything, yeah. Obviously, yeah. I know somebody like Jake Voracek. Got to play with Yager in Philly, and it's Jake's idol, the reason why Jake started playing hockey. So I know he was able to tell him and talk to him about it, and that was a great moment for him. But it's we're just all lucky to be able to do what we're doing, and to think that you're playing on the same ice as some of these Hall of Famers, the best ever played game. It's pretty fun.
Hey, you played against Connor Murphy the other night in Phoenix. Guys from Central Ohio are making it to the NHL
right
now. It's going to happen to you one day here. The next question is from Mayor Umberger. It says, you're on Twitter pretty often. What's the funniest tweet that somebody has ever tweeted you?
I haven't been on too much lately. I've been kind of staying away. But the funniest tweet, nothing's coming to my mind. I got some pretty ugly ones, some awful, insulting ones, some drunk fans who who play against like away teams. Like I remember St. Louis fans sent me tweets one time. I remember coming home after a game reading them. But I can't think of any funny ones off the top of my head, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I'm sure as a pro athlete, if you're ever feeling really good about yourself and you feel you need to come down, just go into Twitter right after the game, right?
Yeah, it's probably the worst thing you can do. So that's you don't need to go read tweets after a game. That's
right. It all comes to you now. It used to be you read the paper the next day and you could get an idea what people think. Now they all come right to you. It's got to be tough to put down, but I imagine it can be pretty frustrating too.
Yeah, Twitter, you got to take it for what it is. It's a great opportunity to connect with fans in different ways. It's a great way to promote charities, to get information, to stay in touch with the world. I like it for those reasons. To sometimes give fans an inside look at what goes on in your life and what we do, but. It is different than what professional sports used to be in the past. Now people have a direct line to you, a direct connection, and anybody can say anything behind a phone or a computer or whatever. And you guys take it for what it is. It's you're the person that knows best, and you can't read too much into it.
Well, I guess you'd made it someday if you get a fake RJ Umberger account.
Yeah, I guess.
All these poor guys have fake accounts that people do for them.
It started with fake. It used to be fake MySpaces, then it went to Facebook, and it's now Twitter's, and just keeps evolving.
All right, we've got one more question for you here. It comes from Umberger18. It says, can you give a prediction for the Blue Jackets for the second half of the season?
Well, I like the direction we're trending up. I think. I can see us making a big run here, and our goal is getting to the top 3 in our division and be a playoff team. And we think we can win a Stanley Cup. That's what we talk about. We don't talk about playoffs. We talk about Stanley Cup. So we're going to get healthier. We're going to definitely be a lot better than the first half. I think like I said, we're going in the right direction, and I see a playoff run. Opportunities here. Carolina comes in on Friday night. That's a division opponent off to Winnipeg, and then another Eastern Conference opponent in Tampa, coming up here at Nationwide Arena on Monday. RJ, thanks so much for doing this. Thank you. It was fun. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. All right, that's RJ Umberger. I'm Bob McElligott, and thanks for being part of today's Huntington Bank Live Chat.